So Rishi, curious what kind of activity you saw on Stocktwits ahead of this surge.
Hey, Emily, thanks for having me on. Yeah, so we saw, kind of at the end of July, beginning of August, we saw Bed Bath & Beyond rocket up to, on the top leaderboards in terms of activity. So since August 1st, it's been second only to AMC in activity. And, historically over the last 6 months, Bed Bath & Beyond has not cracked the top, 10, 20 or so. And also since August 1st, we've seen it grow its followers by 33%, approaching 50,000 followers on Stocktwits. And I think the most interesting thing also has been the Stocktwits social sentiment over the last 4 or 5 months since about April has been mostly negative on Bed Bath & Beyond. And then there was a spike in early July in its sentiment. And then since August 1st, it has moved to an extremely positive position and has maintained that position. And you kind of see that correlated with the run up in price, from the $5 that it's been at for most of the last, 6+ months to, I don't know where it closed at today, $20, right? 2025. So we've seen a lot of really interesting activity and activity that started in July on the Bed Bath & Beyond side.
So here's the question. Why? Why are retail investors on this train?
Yeah, I think, there's a couple factors, and Bed Bath & Beyond is probably an interesting one. But overall, meme stocks have, we've seen has seen less capitulation in the retail markets than some of the other ones. So AMC has maintained its position. GameStop has been steady, and so the interest there from the retail world has maintained better than some of the other stocks. Bed Bath & Beyond, I think there's probably a lot of factors at play here. There's the short interest report that came out at the end of July. I think the Ryan Cohen news, obviously yesterday, was probably a big catalyst and factor. And in the summer we've had, generally speaking, low volumes, and so I think all these pieces come together, and retail definitely still seeks out these kind of opportunities. Retail traders and investors seek out these opportunities of dislocations, whether it's short interest or just price movements. And Bed Bath & Beyond has been the beneficiary as a stock over the last 3 weeks, I guess, right? So,
can you talk a little bit about the power of Ryan Cohen in particular? Obviously, he's the chair of GameStop, which is sort of the original meme stock. But how much of this is driven by him, and how much of this is truly driven by general retail investor sentiment?
I think definitely in the retail trading community, the Wall Street bets community, the kind of a meme stock community, Ryan Cohen seems to have some pretty significant sway on the markets. I don't know personally. I can't speak to anything of that nature. But I think if you look at when he takes positions, the markets move, right? And so the move we saw today in Bed Bath & Beyond, after already a massive move, can probably highly be attributed to the news that he took, the out of money call options. I think that came out last night or this morning or whenever it did. But so he's an interesting person in this place. Obviously, kind of first with the GameStop, but has made a lot of moves over the last 18 months that have definitely been followed by the retail community and the investing community. So, I think you can't ignore what he does, at least in short-term bursts.
In general, we're hearing, we're seeing this talked about on Reddit. We're seeing this stuff talked about on Twitter. What would you say the role is of social media in stock market movements these days?
I think the role of social media and, kind of social platforms in general is, we do disseminate, information quickly. We allow, kind of the communication and sharing of ideas. And I think, the ability for retail, especially to, kind of communicate, in some extent they've organized in the past, right? Like as we remember in the kind of the major meme stock moment of 21. And I think, social media has a strong role to play, and, platforms like Stocktwits to, kind of give retail a place to learn, to collaborate, to share, and ideally to kind of do it in a way where they profit from it and they learn in a positive way. So it's a powerful tool. I think it can be used for good and bad, and but there's a lot of education and learning and partnerships that kind of come out of it from a community perspective, I think.
Any regulatory concerns for Stocktwits at a moment like this?
Not, no, not so much. I mean, we're, we have our house rules and stuff, but those are our rules. And, we cooperate where, there are issues, potentially on the board. We do know, obviously, some of the bigger agencies like the SEC and stuff are paying attention. But no, I mean, we don't, see any massive regulatory issues, along the lines of social media, not in the current kind of environment, I don't think.